God has really been doing a substantial work in my life. I was always trying to do everything in my own strength, and I went through really hard life experiences like cancer and divorce. I begged for God to be real. God really showed himself to be real in my life many, many times over again. I really want to change my whole life and dedicate it to God.
I've always had trouble communicating. It has made me feel embarrassed and angry at myself. But then I learned that in Christ, I don't have to fear death. I have the hope of new and abundant life. And whenever I feel embarrassed or stressed, I can find comfort in Christ. Because in him there is no guilt, and I trust God and his word. It affirms what I know to be true, that God has given me new life.
I'm getting baptized in response to the work that God has done in my life throughout my 40 years as a cultural Christian and the past several months as someone who's really felt the gospel change my heart. I've seen God just fill me with fruits of the Spirit, joy, patience, kindness to others, and just felt him in a way through my heart that I always did in the past, just through my head. I have a whole crew coming today, about 30 people supporting me, friends and family far and wide, so it's a great reason to celebrate, and they're all here for it.
Every time I was at a very low point in my life, and there was a lot of times where there was a lot of trials and tribulations he met me at, and so his loyalty and his protection and just like his word always being something that was constant really like made my heart move. Decided to start going to park and like getting to know God for myself and his word for myself and just creating a relationship with him. And so yeah, then I decided to get baptized to honor him.
I came to know the depth of God's love maybe 10 years ago, and you may say, like, why has it taken 10 years for you to get to this point? Even though I knew that, God did all the work on the cross for me, I was still a little bit afraid that I wasn't doing enough. And I've come to realize that he did enough. Despite me not knowing whatever was going to happen, I felt held through every trial, every misfortune, and I've come to learn that even if here on earth things seem difficult, that someday it won't be difficult anymore.
Before Christ, I was lonely in a very dark place, like I was a lost soul. I felt anger and resentment towards others and myself. Then, following Christ right now, I see myself and others in a different light.
So I became a believer back in my freshman year of college, back in 2016, and so I knew that I had the want to get baptized, but I just knew being in college it wasn't going to be a permanent thing. I wasn't going to be there, wasn't a member of a church, so I was waiting, kind of praying, hoping to find a church once I moved, and luckily I found Park, fell in love with it, ended up becoming a member, and so now that I've taken that step, I really want to take the step to get baptized, publicly proclaim my faith.
I grew up Catholic. The first 20 years of my life, it was always just a religion. When I moved to Chicago, after I graduated, when I actually found myself to be very alone, very caught in a deep season of sin, a close friend of mine bringing me back to the church here actually at Park, I was able to truly find a relationship with Christ and find myself and find a purpose for my life. It's been a great blessing to have everybody be so supportive in my life, whether they're there themselves or friends that aren't believers have been so supportive in showing up today. I just pray that God's presence today is able to reach them one day.